My name is David Nganga. I'm one of the members here at the PDI, a student. The person you see in front of you is personal development. It's developed by the TKC, the mindset, the person speaking, the voice, anything that you see here is a product of PDI. Sometimes back, this is a personal story that really came through when I realized myself. There is a time that I was blessed by life. I didn't know what to do, how to speak. I was just living hopelessly without meaning. Some people can relate here. There comes a time in life when you feel like the person you are is not the person God created. The things you go through deep in your mind, not in the physical. In the physical, you can smile, you are able to walk, you can speak, and you can do things. But deep down in your mind, there's something that was telling me that I'm not the person that God created. And I remember one day I was pressed by life and things were not the way they were supposed to be. You see, I always say, there is a time that I felt like maybe God didn't create me to be alive. But I remembered God has something for me. And that time I was pressed by so many things, my life story. I'll be sharing it sometimes back. And I decided to pack my things and to leave Kenya and go, to leave Nairobi, to come out of Nairobi and just go into a place because I tried to commit suicide. There's sometimes that I was walking along the way and I feel like I can just throw myself and be hit by a moving car and my life ends. But I remember one day when I decided to just, instead of committing suicide, let me leave this place. I packed and I started the journey. But by God's miracle, or maybe by God's grace, I just felt like I listened to a praise that I call Heaven's Gate. You know, I've come from a family of Christians. My father is a pastor, and my brother seated back there is a pastor also. So he used to mentor me. But life was too much for me to handle. So I decided to move and without telling anybody. But by God's grace, I got myself at Heaven's Gate. It's a prayer mountain where I stayed there not to pray, but just to find a refuge. Maybe God can do something and pull the battles within my mind. And I stayed there for 7 days. Then I felt like, let me just go back. I think the anger was low. So when I came back home, I was having a little bit of hope. But again, the battle was still there. Like, bro, you're not enough. You're not the person that God created. But I remember one day when I was just coming to work, I remember even the place that I was near Stadium on Kagoda Road, Jogoo Road. And I was going through my Facebook posts and just perusing through and seeing things. I read onto a post by Coach Eileen Muredi. Thank you. I've never met you in person. I'm really humbled to meet you. So from that point, I remember the book that she was sharing about John Stanko. It was her coach. And there was a book that she posted there about the purpose journey. So I felt like maybe I'm going through all these battles because I don't have purpose in life. Maybe I don't know what I'm supposed to be. You see? So immediately, I found a way to meet her through the phone and ordered 2 books. I always carry 1 book in my bag each and every morning, each and every day. Right now we have that book because it really transformed me. So I even had some savings in a circle, a very little. So I bought those books. The first book that I bought, 2 books that I bought beyond 1,000 shillings. That was a miracle. And from that point, if you can go to my house right now, I cannot like 100 books that I have gone through. And there was a program that was called TKC, last year that ended on April, I enrolled on that class, and I'm telling you, the person who is speaking here is a product of that. And I have a lot that I can write. I have about 100 pages about this thing, just 1 year. So I thank God for this. PDI classes is a personal development, is a power. It has made me the person I am. It has given me a direction of life. And I usually say, the things that I was going through, they were a redirection for me to see the purpose and to know who I am truly. So God thank you, Coach Irene, and the TKC, and everybody who spoke there. Because I even remember sharing with my pastor, there is a graduation that happened at Windsor Golf Club. And that was also a game changer. It's something that I never expected. Because I left Pastor Moses to go around, and I also said that I'm not going to take you there. So that was one of the most amazing experiences that I've gotten. And I said it is going to take me for the next 15 years. Personal development is what I'm committed to do. Thank you, and I invite you for that.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abigail Koyer, and I'll just share with you my journey at Personal Development Institute, Africa. And for me, PDI has given me a community that has enabled me to collaborate with other Christians who are thriving in the marketplace. So the power of personal development is the fact that the more you expose yourself to thinking and education that transforms your mind will stay young, and you'll have limitless opportunities. And that's what personal development through TKC has enabled me, not just to limit myself, because most of the times you're not able to do very many things because you think, I'm not able to do this, I can't, I don't have value. But PDI, through the coaches, through the programs that they have brought us, it enables us to transform our mindset. And just to point out the fact that God has given us, has created in us a brilliant mind. And if I can just give you a snippet, is the fact that the way we think is through words and pictures. That is very important, because inside us, there are dreams that we want to pursue. There are dreams that we want to live out, but because we are in the rat race of doing a course, you want money to pay for your rent, you're not able to pursue that dream. And the fact that PDI has the God factor in just enabling you to live your health, your wealth, and just every aspect of life from a biblical point of view, that will enable us to just bring out whatever is inside of us. Because I don't know if you remember when you were a kid, there are some dreams that you dreamt and you never felt limitless. But now when you are grown up, if you are to be asked, have you ever fulfilled all the dreams that you dreamt while you were young? You start feeling shy just because maybe you are told you're not good enough, you can't do this. But through the TKC, that is the Kingdom Connect, we not only just look at the Word of God, but we look at the Word of God and deal with contemporary issues. Another thing is, because of that, our minds are stimulated. And one thing in this day and age, it's not just about getting professional certificates, which are good, but you want to keep your mind young and stimulated so that you're not caught off guard. For example, who will have known right now we will be talking about AI. So one of the mentorship programs that we have right now is the PDI mentorship program that is enabling us to upskill through the learnings that we have. For example, AI, digital marketing. So personal development, it's not just something you put at the side and think, I'll do at a later stage, but it's continuous learning. Thank you very much.
So, hi everyone. My name is Charity. I'm Charity Mwangi, a student at Tangaza, pursuing a degree in sustainable human development and also an alumni at PDI. So for me, joining PDI, it was more of you are young and you want to try everything. You have the chances and also the time to try everything. So I was like, okay, it's another challenge or another course, so I'm in for it. Let me just do it for as long as there's no exam. So I was okay with just trying. Yeah, I was okay with joining and seeing what they have to offer. So for me joining, I expected it to be more of another class or another course that you just take to learn everything and whatever it has to offer. But after joining, I got an experience of a family or people who believe in one thing and people who believe in change. And it's not just change, it's change with a purpose and with God in it. There are people who transform you in all forms, emotionally, spiritually, financially, everything. So in the first 2 weeks or in the first month, I was already part of them and glued there, knowing that now, okay, this is what, okay, I never envisioned it, but this is what I want. I was like, I know now, I'm sure that in my life, without this course, maybe something somewhere would have gone wrong. So before joining, yes, I had goals in my life and I had vision, but I never had clarity of it. I knew maybe I want this, but I never had the clarity of it. I never knew, okay, to get here you need this and this, or how am I going to get here? And it's not just about getting there, it's about the journey. It's about embracing change and everything that comes with getting to your goal. And PDI gave me that. It gave me the understanding and it gave me that urge of being part of the process of where I was going to. And it's through the sessions that you get to even deeply understand yourself. So there is this assessment that they do offer during the mentorship program. It's DISC assessment and it's very, very much I would encourage every young person to join. Even if you don't join the program, just do the assessment itself. It's an personality assessment. You get to understand your personality, who you are, and why you do things, why you do them, and why do you do them in a certain way. So for me, I got to learn more of myself. Some of the things, yes, I knew. So I do love appreciation. When I do something, I love people appreciating. I want you to acknowledge that I have done it. But I didn't know that that thing had so much weight in me. So every time I do something and no one acknowledges, no one had to acknowledge what I have done, even losing morale or the spirit of continuing to do it, it was very high. But now after the assessment, I got to understand this is part of me and it's not something wrong, it's who I am. And with that appreciation and even getting to tell someone, okay, I do love you appreciating me. I would like you to appreciate what I have done. So that was part of my growth. And that's one of the things that I got to understand about me and even learn to change and to relate with others, because knowing your personality, you know who you are, you know how you want to associate, how you want people to associate with you, how you want others to relate with you, because now I know who I am and I know what I like and why I do this. So with me relating to you, I'm able to even tell you, okay, now for me that's a boundary, at least for all. These are my kind of principles in life. Another lesson at PDI, like in my class, the group that I was working with, it had so many young people. Okay, actually, majority of the people were young people. No one was even above 25, and getting them to teach us about financial intelligence at a very young age was something that I got to appreciate. We all know at the age of, in your early 20s, no one thinks about saving, no one thinks about investment. I'm sure even majority are, okay, what am I investing? I'm at my prime, so 20, I have nothing to offer in investment. I don't have the money nor the job. So for me, that was one of an eye-opener, that they don't treat you like children or like high school leavers or university students, but they treat you like the people they want to see you in future, or who you are going to be in future. So for me, that was one thing. You get to learn more about finances, and that's a crucial thing that the society have kind of neglected. When finances are mentioned, so many people kind of goes off from the topic. So that's one thing that I managed. You are a young student, so even managing my finances, the money that I have, the pocket money that I get, you get to know, okay, I can budget on this money and even have extra to even save and start my future plans with it. And the fact that they also give you more options, you can do this and this, they even categorically give you options on where you can invest to and the returns you get. So for me, that was one of my highlights in the classes. And also, it gives you the tools to impact the tools that are going to help you impact your future as a young person. And yeah, for me, and I would really encourage, so anyone, if you have maybe a young person in your life, it's something that it's very okay. You get to embrace and also engage with others and learn and see more opportunities that life has to offer. And the fact that they carry you across in every opportunities that are there. There is no way you can join PDI and be left out if there is any chance in the institute for you. So that's my story with PDI. Thank you.
My name is Brian Gitonga. I'm an educator, mathematics and physics teacher. Apart from that, I teach in the classroom setup, and apart from the classroom setup, I also do tutor students, private students basically. An alumni of Tangaza University College. It's been a joy being here, and that's where I got to know Dr. Anrita. Apart from that, I'm a trainer, I'm a coach, that's a swimming coach. And I'll tell you how all this comes into place. I got to learn about TKC, PDI, through Dr. Anrita. It was in one of her classes whereby, she's a soft-spoken lecturer. So you could hear her say, I want us to do business and do business God's way, let's have the kingdom mindset. And I used to wonder, what is she talking about? And finally, I did manage to understand what she was talking about, because she convinced me after finishing my education here at Tangaza University College. She convinced me to join the PDI programs, one of them known as the Kingdom Connect. I was so reluctant, as any youth would be at that particular age, because you're just done with school, you want to go get a job, move on with life, things will just follow, they just arrange themselves up. And I was able to join PDI, and it has been a very fruitful journey. As an alumni of Tangaza and also an alumni of PDI, I feel very contented in who I am right now. And I have learned 3 things. Number 1, I got enlightenment on things that you don't teach in the normal school setup. I'm a teacher, I can tell you, the things that we teach in school, most of them do not apply in real life. It's a sad curriculum, the way it is. But in PDI, I got to learn things that were genuinely overlooked, things like having personal goals, things like following up on your goals, financial literacy, all these things that are usually overlooked in the classroom setup. I became more confident in myself. I became more aware of my circumstances. I was able to craft my goals and grow them as I moved on. One of the things that I really loved and I wanted to do is to come up with a tuition service, and which I did. Dr. Rita taught me a unit known as entrepreneurship in education. So I really wanted to become a tutor, and through the programs that we have in PDI, I was able to structure myself really well, know that first, number 1, knew that this is what I wanted to do. And I have been able to cultivate that, grow some clienteles, get some referrals from some clienteles, and that has really helped me with my learners. Another thing that has really helped me through this program that I have had is to have happy clients. Always you want to have happy clients. We want like you in Tangaza right now, it's happy because they can see there's a client who they had and is really proud to be an alumni of Tangaza. The same as PDI. Education sometimes is just a matter of the teacher getting into the class saying, I want you to do this, you have not completed the assignment. But normally, we don't have that personal touch with the students. But myself, I've stood out as a teacher, as an educator, because of that encountership with the PDI, the TKC. I've been able to talk to the students at a personal level, help them grow their mindsets. And that's one of the things that I usually get so much from my clients and also my students at school. We have been able to achieve several things here and there. We've been able to do like science fairs, science projects, mentored students through the science projects all the way to the national levels, not 1 year, but 3 years. And I could not do that if myself I was not aware of about myself. Apart from that, you get the clients just tell me, you're really good with the students, they really understand whatever you're telling them. And apart from that, they are very positive in life. So that has really made me happy as a person. And I think this is all thanks to the PDI, which was very reluctant on joining. The moment I began my tuitions, I used to have some few cash here, but it will just evaporate, as majority of people in the world right now. But I was able to learn about investments, and the little bit that I got, I was able to now plow in back and come up with some investment that will help me with my tutorage and also in the school setup. I think also there's a personal touch that people just check and they see this person has really potential. It has made me grow. Even at a young age that I am right now, I am head of department in my school, and it's because I stay positive. I have learned positivity from PDI. I'll conclude by saying 2 things. Mentorship is good, but I would like you to choose mentorship from a mentored mentor. Very important. Investment is good, but invest with well-trusted and people who who are in the financial game, basically. Invest with Nabo Capital, and you see your life transform and change. Thank you so much.
PDI visionary, Coach Irene Muriithi, Dr. Ann Rita, the CEO, and all the guests, together with all the change makers in the house. My name is Millie Ochoki, and I'm a person who believes in encouraging individuals to nurture after recognizing their God-given abilities. I am a wellness enthusiast, so I'm able to assist and support people to do business as they look after their health. Now, coming to PDI and TKC, during the lockdown, I know most of us were online and looking for what you can pick, what you can get, who was speaking to you. And I believe most of us had very many voices coming into our space. By that time, I met two very lovely ladies, Coach Irene Moreidi together with Coach Betty Mwaura. And they were on Facebook doing lives, speaking to people, encouraging people. It was difficult. That was a season that everybody had their share of problems. But these ladies would come together, speak to people, encourage, give the word. And from then, I kept following them. Just like that. I was not a Facebook person, but they are among the very few people I would look up on Facebook time after another. So as we continue, that was around 2021, towards the end, I found myself in a space where I had a patient. This patient was my husband. So this community that I met online was one of the communities that kept me moving because of what they would speak. You realize whatever you hear, whatever you internalize, affects you. So I decided I would not go to negativity and going down, but I allowed myself to listen. So fast forward, almost a year after that, my husband passed on, and I realized this was not just a community, it was a family. Because in that season, I joined one of the programs, TKC, and can you imagine in that season, somebody giving you moral and financial support? Total strangers, 85% you don't know them. So that was quite something, and the journey continued. I have two daughters who have gone through PDI. One did her DISC assessment. There are many programs in when she was in campus. The other one just was in charities class, Secret Brilliance. So it is a place where everybody is accommodated. What is your need? What is that you are looking for? What kind of mentorship are you looking for? Like Brian has said. So know who is delivering what to you. I do not read books a lot, but within the community, we have book clubs. So you get to have interest, learn, and understand things more than you'd ever know. And just while in the TKC journey, I encountered Nabo Capital. Invest with purpose. And that is the journey I'm taking. And I'm so happy today I met the manager, investments manager, and tumeongea, and I'm happy. So what am I saying? Know what you want, seek out help, choose mentorship. PDI, Personal Development Institute. We can coin it and say what? Prioritize what matters. Decide what you need to do with clarity and implement confidently. Thank you very much.
It gives me great pleasure to be here today. And as I scan through the room, majority of you or the audience are young people. And I can imagine how lucky you are to come across this information. I remember when enrolling to university, I had a lot of push and pull with my parents. It was just by God's grace that I enrolled to study journalism and communication at Daystar. By flukes, found myself at one of the leading media houses at Nation, wrote the paper, then a few years later, joined the public service as a communications expert. At around 2 years ago, I did a lot of soul searching in my life. I had a very good job. I was doing well in my career, but I was not a happy person. So I took a break, to the shock of many of my friends. So one of those days when I decided I'm just gonna bask, after all, I've quit work, no plan, God, here I am. I came across PDI on Facebook, and I reached out to one of my friends who was a former colleague, and I enrolled. This was the beginning of a very great journey of being self-aware. I got to understand myself, why I behave the way I do. I got also to understand maybe also why I had the kind of frictions I had with my former bosses. And taking a break and enrolling in almost all the PDI courses has opened my mind wide. I had this father who believed investment is in plots. So I would follow my father. When he's buying a piece of land in Kitengela, we are there, you know. And if I cannot afford to buy 1 or 2, I need to buy like 3. I'll tell you, okay, Wangari, I'll give you a loan. By end month, you have to pay me. But when I joined PDI, I got to know the importance of investing with a purpose. I'd never heard of unit funds or fixed incomes. My money used to be in the bank or SACCO. What were mortgage, you know, mortgage, you are told the minute you get employed, the first thing to get is a mortgage. Okay, lucky for me, at least the institution I worked for, the mortgage, the interest rate was low. But you can imagine the market rate. Even when I was quitting, I had to negotiate with the bank to make sure my rent goes to the bank. The person you are seeing here is not the person I was 2 years back. So much so that my former colleagues tell me, Hannah, you've transformed. I do lead a book club. One of the books that we read are those books that are written by Harvard professors. It's not easy, but when I was asked to lead, I decided, fine, let me do it. And it's opened my mind and understanding. I'm a lover of books. I can spend like even 50,000 a day on books. I read that much. But knowing my potential, getting my confidence back, my mojo back, actually is the best thing I ever did. Taking that sabbatical and deciding to invest in myself, I can tell you for sure, the little amount of money I had, I decided I don't care what will happen. I'm going to invest in myself. I did my DISC assessment. I'm now self-aware of who I am, why I behave the way I behave. I know my weaknesses, my strengths, and I have more zeal to chase after my dreams. So I urge you all, I envy you, the young ones here. I wish I had this chance to actually be self-aware. Maybe I would have even negotiated my promotions better at work. I didn't do that. So you can imagine being away where God has to park you for some time to work on you so that when you're ready, he releases you to your next assignment. I'm a happy soul. I no longer have the hurts I carried maybe from my past. And I'm very, very grateful to the PDI community. Dr. Rita, who I usually refer to my mom. She looks like my mom, Coach Irene behind, and the rest of the PDI team, thank you very much. For you who are young here, please tap into this. Don't enter this race much later in life. It might cost you your time. I'm talking from experience. It will cost you your time because during the transition process, you have to separate yourself. You lose friends. Some of your family members might not be there. But now that you're young, combine the two. Those who are in school, maybe some of the courses you're doing here were pushed to you by your parents. After you are done, go back and see who am I? What are my dreams? What do I love doing? Maybe you are even studying a subject that does not resonate with you and you love music. You're an artist. Go record your records. That's who you are meant to be. So for those who are early, don't be late bloomers like us, where God had to arrest us at the right time and take us back to a garage to work on us. It is costly and it is not an easy journey, but by the grace of God, you pick up your pieces and move on. So thank you, PDI team, Dr. Rita, Coach Maureen, and the rest of the PDI team. I'm a happy client and a proud PDI member. Nabo Capital, yes. I even talk to my friends. Even you find me in the supermarket talking to the guys who park and tell them why they need to invest. So thank you very much.
Yes, my name is Rose Kingatwa. In PDI, they call me Rose King. I joined PDI-TKC 2 years ago. I had just resigned from work, and I was trying to navigate, to just understand. I'd been following Coach Irene, silent, you know those silent followers who don't comment or anything. And so I reached out and I joined. I can tell you when I joined, I got into a shock. Because in one of the sessions, we were being taught about wealth creation for posterity. And one of the trainers told us something that disturbed me. I actually almost got into a depression. We were given an assignment. We were told, go to your bank and see, you who have fixed accounts, deposits, how much interest they're paying you and what the inflation rate is. The following day, I actually went to my bank and I asked them, and lo and behold, my savings were not earning money because the interest rate was slightly less than inflation rate. So on a daily basis, what was I doing? I was losing money. Who had taught me that? We went to school, we went to university, we were not taught that. And I remember having a discussion with the person in the bank, and I said, you know what? I am moving my money. If you're giving me loss and you're making money, you know banks, they're always saying they made net, I don't know what, 20 billion, 30 billion, and you're making a loss. We had also been taught, now this is also a shocker for most of you. I turned 60 this year. I heard about money market fund 2 years ago. How old was I? 58 is when I heard about money market fund and the compounding interest. So when I went to the bank, I said, I want to move my money into an MMF. And I remember I asked my colleague just before I resigned, and they told me, hey, ma'am, but you don't know about money market. And he took the phone and opened for me a certain account. And so I had slightly, about 5 million in my fixed deposit. It was earning me like 200K every year. With $1 million in a money market fund, it comes to about, okay, because I'm also investing with NABO, it's like 11K per month for 1 million. So do the math. If my 5 million were in a money market fund, how much money would I have been getting per annum? And so for me, did I really need to go back to school? No, but personal development, I've learned all those things when I'm midlife. Because for me, the Bible says, the years of a man are 120. Please don't tell me about the 75. That one is for the fallen person. For me, 120. And so when I learned this, my mind started opening. As I was coming for this meeting, I saw a message from my cousin. We invested like 30 years ago. Proti Maguta Maguta. he just told me, you know, they went and somebody has fenced our property. We've been trying to sell those plots. They didn't help us. I learned in class, sometimes these plots, our parents keep telling us that we invest. If you need an emergency fund right now, how long will it take? I've tried to sell my plot for 6 years. So it cannot be an emergency fund. And so what am I here to tell you? It's not too late. But mapema ndio? Mapema ndio best. You don't have to strain. Can you imagine now at 60, I am learning, not that I have a problem. And please let me tell you, we've always been told that leaders are readers. Please invest, and also don't invest in one thing alone. I think I've read so many Christian books because, yeah, but there's also finances, there's social, there's all these things. So I would encourage us, one, let's do personal development. What we are taught in class doesn't help us. I did chemistry at the university. They didn't teach me that I can invest with purpose. So even as we shall be listening to the master class, listen with purpose and come join us. There is a beautiful mentorship class, and yes, the DISC assessment, you know yourself, how to deal with yourself and with other people, and you'll just be transformed from your Gen Zs. By the time you become shosho like me, yani, you'll have invested for generations. Asanteni sana, and God bless you.